and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, January 16th. We begin with news on the city's northeast side, where one man is dead after a shooting at an apartment complex. Police say they first got a burglary call just after 11:30 last night at the overlook at the Fairgrounds Apartments near East 38th and Fall Creek Parkway. Officers say they found a man with gunshot wounds who died at the scene. Police say they did not see any signs of forced entry into the apartment, and they have not found any witnesses just yet. If you have any information, you are encouraged to contact IMPD or Crime Stoppers. On Capitol Hill, President Biden delivered his farewell address last night from the Oval Office. In his speech, the president highlighted his accomplishments, including creating jobs and restoring what he called the dignity of work for millions of Americans. He also left the nation with a serious warning about the challenges ahead.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America.
President Biden will hand over power to President-elect Donald Trump Monday at noon. Here in Indianapolis, Governor Mike Braun has shut down the state's Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Opportunity. That move comes as part of a larger backlash against DEI initiatives across the country. News 8's Garrett Bergquist reports.
Former Governor Eric Holcomb created the office in 2020 amid nationwide racial justice protests. Braun and numerous Republican candidates, including President-elect Donald Trump, campaigned on eliminating such initiatives. Indiana's DEI office died the way it was born, with the stroke of a governor's pen.
Replacing DEI in government with MEI, merit, excellence, and innovation. In my campaign, I've had such a breadth of support from the entire spectrum of Hoosiers that embrace that idea of freedom and opportunity.
Braun's order prohibits using state funds, property, or resources for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs if they endorse preferential treatment based on a person's race, color, or national origin. It also prohibits using them for any DEI-related training. Braun says this brings the state into line with recent Supreme Court rulings on the subject. The NAACP says his order could undercut the very innovation he's seeking.
How are you going to gauge that without actually, in order to be innovative, you have to have a diverse amount of ideas. So the question of innovation and diverse ideas, you can't have one without the other. Because that's the definition of innovation, is to have a diversity of ideas to get a diverse outcome.
The order is part of a larger national reaction against DEI efforts. Several states, including Oklahoma and Florida, have defunded DEI initiatives in state-run universities. Braun's DEI order was one of nearly a dozen he signed Wednesday afternoon.
Common theme, making Indiana's government more efficient, more transparent, more accountable. Every decision is being made with the goal of improving services for Hoosiers and maximizing the value of taxpayer dollars.
But State Representative Robin Shackelford says if you want proof DEI programs are needed, look no further than who gets awarded state contracts. The most recent state disparity study, conducted in 2020, found minority-owned businesses won state contracts at a rate far below their relative share of the total business population.
If it was just based on merit, if it was just based on we're going to give the money to the best company that can do the best work and even maybe look at the lowest price, then we shouldn't have this disparity.
The NAACP's Taiwan Garrett says DEI programs like the ones Indiana had usually aren't even about preferential treatment, but rather awareness of groups that have been overlooked. At the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
In Gary, a man is dead after an afternoon police shooting. According to the Gary Police Department, officers responded to a family dispute just before 5 p.m. on January 11th and the 2300 block of Waverly Drive, that's near Taft Street. At the scene, officers spoke with a woman who said her son was inside the home armed with 2 guns. Police say they found 23-year-old Devin Shields in the house, holding a gun in each hand. When Shields posed a threat to his mother and the officers, an officer opened fire. Shields was taken to the hospital where he later died. Israel's prime minister is now saying a ceasefire agreement with Hamas is still not complete. It comes just hours after the U.S. and Qatar announced the deal to pause the devastating 15-month war in Gaza and clear the way for Israeli hostages and Palestinians to go home. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now claims Hamas has backtracked on part of that deal that would let Israel veto the release of certain Palestinian prisoners. Negotiators are scheduled to continue working on the deal in Cairo, Egypt today. The war has led to the deaths of more than 46,000 Palestinians. That's according to the Gaza Health Ministry. It all started following an attack on Israel by militants in October 2003 that killed around 1,200 people, with some 250 Israelis being taken hostage. Switching gears now to the weather, there will be a slight uptick in temperatures. Storm Track 8 says you can also expect a cloudy day with some snow showers this morning. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
We're running at least a little warmer, some improvement here today. Keep in mind, last time you and I talked at 5:30 in the morning yesterday, we were talking sub-zero numbers in a lot of these areas. So 20s is a bit of a heat wave compared to where we've been, obviously, the last couple of mornings. We'll take it. 25 in Indy, 23 in Greencastle, Bloomington at 28, 23 in Kokomo, 24 Muncie, 22 in Lafayette. A lot of clouds. We've had some light snow showers in some spots. It hasn't been overly problematic. We're at 25 right now in Indy. Winds are out of the south and west at 10, so our chills are sitting into the mid-teens here for this morning. It's not exceptionally strong yet. I do think as we kind of progress through the morning and we go hour by hour, the winds will start to pick up just a little bit. I think gusts at least 20 to 25. We could have wind gusts around 30. Those will likely ease up by later tonight, but a lot of the daytime hours here, it could be a little gusty. That will keep our wind chills a little on the chilly side throughout the day today. But for the first time since Sunday, I think we actually go above freezing. I'm going to go with a high of 34 later today. Not a ton of sunshine. And again, it will be a little blustery from time to time as we go throughout the day today. I think tomorrow is even warmer. We're tracking the warmest that we've seen probably in 2 weeks for high temperatures for tomorrow. We are eyeing another weekend system coming our way as well. Rain and maybe some snow accumulation as well. We'll time that out, followed by the coldest air that we've seen so far this season. I know that's saying a lot because it was awfully cold the last couple of days. We'll have the very chilly details in my Storm Track 8 forecast coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com. And don't forget, conditions will change throughout the day. So to make sure you have the most up-to-date forecast, download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And for a more detailed look at conditions, check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. Let's talk sports. The Pacers will be missing one of its key players tonight after a league suspension. The NBA announced yesterday that starting forward Benedict Mathurin has been suspended for 1 game without pay for what it called inappropriate contact and verbal abuse of an official. Mathurin was ejected late in Tuesday's 127-117 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers after bumping official Natalie Sago while arguing a foul with just under 4 minutes left in the game. Mathurin is currently the Pacers' 3rd leading scorer and rebounder this season. And Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman says the team's success this season comes down to one thing: players putting the team's goals ahead of their own. The Fighting Irish are just 4 days away from taking on Ohio State in the College Football Playoff National Championship. Freeman says their focus on knowing their roles will be key as they prepare for the big game.
That mentality has got us to this point. It's every person in this program putting this football program in front of itself. And that's what we continue to do, and we demand of each other.
Wish TV will be on the road with the Fighting Irish as they head to Atlanta. Sports director Anthony Calhoun and Andrew Chernoff will bring you live coverage starting this weekend, leading up to Monday's game. Kickoff is at 7:30. Also on Monday, beer company Coors Light is switching things up, at least temporarily. It will rebrand as Monday's Light. The company says the change is all about spreading some cheer, marking the end of Monday Night Football for the season. You can look for Monday's Light on shelves nationwide, but only for a limited time. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, January 16th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.